Hello, second graders. I am going to continue reading Lulu and the Brontosaurus to you today. Now, if you remember yesterday, Lulu is, they said, kind of a big pain in the butt. She wants what she wants and she wants it now. And now Lulu wants a Brontosaurus for a pet. A Brontosaurus, like a big dinosaur. And her parents are like, okay, Lulu, no way. But then she screeches and screams and throws a fit. And that's where we left off. Chapter 4. 4 days, 8 days, 10 days, 12 days passed. Lulu kept saying, I want a Brontosaurus. Her mom and dad just kept saying, no. Lulu kept screeching and throwing herself on the floor and kicking her heels and waving her arms. Lulu's mom and her dad kept saying, no, until finally, on the 13th day, the day before Lulu's birthday, right after lunch, Lulu said to her mom and dad, okay, then foo on you. She had terrible manners. If you aren't going to get me a pet Brontosaurus, I'm going out and getting one for myself. Lulu packed a small suitcase. She said goodbye to her mom and her dad and walked out the door. And they let her go, partly because they thought she'd change her mind and come running back home in about 2 minutes, and partly because it was nice not having the screeching and screaming and kicking and waving and being a pain. Let's have a cup of tea and a couple of cookies, Lulu's mom said to her dad. Excellent idea, her dad replied. So they went into the kitchen and they started munching on some cookies and sipping tea, and pretty soon they'd forgotten all about Lulu. Chapter 5. Lulu hadn't forgotten that she was going to get herself a Brontosaurus. Luckily for Lulu, there was a big forest not too far from her house. The animals in that forest had never bothered anybody because nobody had ever bothered them. But watch out, creatures. Here came Lulu, trudging through the forest, swinging her small suitcase back and forth, and in a quite loud voice that was sure to wake up the napping animals from their naps, singing that song. I'm gonna get a Brontosaurus for a pet. I'm gonna get a Brontosaurus for a pet. The forest that Lulu was trudging through was overgrown with trees whose branches scratched her face and whose roots she tripped over. But Lulu hardly noticed because she was thinking one thought. And you know what it was. So on she went, swinging her suitcase and singing her song too loud and too annoying, all the creatures in the forest, and being the same big pain out there that she was back home. Until slithering down from the branch of a tree came a long, fat, brown-black snake who had been peacefully snoozing till Lulu woke him up, sleepy and grumpy and hissing an exceedingly nasty hiss. He wrapped himself around Lulu, around and around, and tighter and told her she'd really be sorry that she had awakened him. "I'm going to squeeze you dead," he said. Okay, so snakes don't really talk, but in my story they do. And Lulu said, "Not if I squeeze you deader." So Lulu squeezed the snake hard, and the snake yelled, "Ow!" and quickly wrapped himself around Lulu. And Lulu, wiping some snake sweat from her palms of her snake squeezing hands, went on trudging deeper into the forest. And that is the end of chapter 5. We will pick up tomorrow on chapter 6. I want you to tell somebody at home what you think is going to happen next in the story. All right, hope you enjoyed. See you tomorrow.